Hi everyone, this is Chandni Singh and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a huge break and I'm really sorry about that because I've been really busy with my bridal season and unfortunately our studio got sealed, so I did not really have a location to shoot. But now, well, we have made a temporary arrangement, so here am I back shooting. And I thought I'm just going to do a quick video today talking about why a foundation does not blend like a dream. Now, I get a lot of requests from women who keep on telling me that Chani, my foundation is very patchy. So the biggest problem women face is that the foundation is very dry, it's very patchy, it kind of collects around flaky areas, and usually they'll keep saying that it looks like a thick, heavy, cakey coat of foundation. So I'm going to run you through quickly through my foundation routine as I do it. Right now on this side of the face, I just have a little bit of concealer on my dark circles. I've already done my eyes, and I'm just going to run you through this quickly. You'll be so surprised to hear that whether I have a dry skin bride or an oily skin bride, I always moisturize up to the max level. Now I usually see a lot of women with T-zone oily that tend to think that, oh my god, I'm very oily, no, don't apply this on my face and blah blah. I feel each one of you should really moisturize your face well. Of course, it has a lot to do with your everyday routine as well. Like my routine is very good. Okay, I have good skin, but I take care of it. I need to take care of it because I've reached a certain age. You know, my CTM regimen is very strong, girls. I eat very healthy. I also have a lot of antioxidants for my skin like green tea, flax seeds, chia seeds. I also keep alternating between amla juice or wheatgrass water or methi water. I keep doing something or the other to my skin all the time. I do sheet mask at least 2 to 3 times a week. At home also, I'll always just fix something on my face. I'll apply egg whites, I'll apply tomato, I'll apply kheera on my eyes. I am constantly doing something. So what are you doing for it? Also your water intake. How good is your water intake? Women who generally tend not to drink enough water will always have skin that is a lot drier. You could have an oily T-zone, but your skin will still be dry. So whether you're dry skin or oily skin, the only difference you need to do is dry skin could moisturize a little bit more and oily skin could perhaps moisturize a little bit less, but you both need to moisturize. So also moving on to moisturizers, I have moved on from moisturizers. I do apply a lot of biotic morning nectar. I've also discovered a new brand called Perenne, and I'm trying out the products right now before I give out my verdict. However, the face oil that I've been swearing by is the Indulgeo Rose Gold Oil, and I'm sure you guys have, whoever follows me on Instagram very thoroughly, you must be seeing this a lot on my desk. So when I do my makeup, so I had applied this oil before I did my eyes, right? Now I have dry skin. However, when I say I have dry skin, I still have oiliness on the sides of my nose and on right here. But at the same time, I feel relatively drier in spite of these 3 oily patches on my skin. Also, my skin tends to be a lot more oilier when I am chumming. So what I love about Indulgeo is like it's 100% organic. There are a few percentage of people who say it does not work for them. However, I would say 85% of the women I've met say they love it. So I moved on from moisturizers to face oils, and I feel it has changed the way my foundation looks, even on myself, even on my brides. So I had applied 5 drops of this on my skin, and now that I'm done with my eyes, I'm again going to take the same oil and apply it on my face. So right now, because I'm just going to do half my face, I'm just going to take 3 drops, and you can apply it with your fingertips or with a brush, whatever you prefer. Whenever I'm applying it on somebody else, I always prefer to apply with a brush. On myself, I don't mind my fingers. Like really get it into your skin. If you have any dry areas, now usually areas around the nose and around the mouth tend to be very dry. I also find a lot of women with dry under eyes. If girls have come back from beach holidays, I usually see a lot of dry flakiness on the forehead. So say while you're moisturizing and you know that your mouth area is relatively dry, take 2 extra drops and massage it right. First apply it all over the face and then take 2 extra drops and just apply it where your problem area is and just let it coat, like leave a coat there. So now I've done this. Now I'm going to use a primer. Now a primer is extremely hydrating to the skin. It's got a little bit of silicone also, which kind of adds to a little bit of sheen on the skin. If one of my favorite most expensive primers is Smashbox. Something even more expensive is Hourglass, but if you are looking for something really affordable, I really recommend the LA Girl primer. Its price is $7.25 and it's available at my studio as well. So I'm just going to today take my Hourglass primer. If you see, so if you ask me what is the amount of primer to be applied, I'll always say a pea-sized drop. Always make sure you apply your primer a lot more in the center of the face and rub it going outside. You do not need to apply any on your neck. However, if you think you have a little bit left, you can just take your brush all over your neck, right? So if you see now, I had first applied Indulgeo Oil, I did my eyes, I've reapplied my Indulgeo Oil, and then I've done my primer. Please also remember the steps. Why? Because if you apply your primer and if you're going to apply your oil over it, you're going to remove your primer layer from your face. So if you see right now, my skin looks really hydrated. Exactly, this is how your skin should look. If you feel that you want to add more dewiness to your face, you could always use illuminating sprays. Like you can use the Matte Fix Plus, you can use in an affordable range, you can use the Makeup Revolution illuminating spray. I'm just going to give you show you both the bottles how they look like. So these are the sprays that I'm talking about. This is the Matte Prep Plus Prime and this is the Makeup Revolution Pro Fix. The Pro Fix is priced at $1,050, available at my studio for sale as well, and the Matte Prep Plus Prime, I think it's about $1,800. I could be a little wrong. Please cross check before you buy. So all you need to do if you want more dewiness is that you just need to spray this on your face. So I just spray that and I just let it be, and I prefer to let it dry naturally. This water has a little bit of glycerin in it also, so it adds a little bit of dewiness to the face. I only recommend this if you have super dry skin. Don't go ahead and apply everything on your face at all times, you know. I mean, also please see whether it is winters or summers. Of course, in summers, even the number of drops that I apply are a little lesser. Even the spray, I might in fact skip the spray and I'll just stick to my oil and my primer and not go all the way unless the skin is extremely dehydrated. And now just applying a little bit of my orange corrector. I apply the orange corrector only on my problem areas like my under eyes, on my pigmentation which I have right here, corner of my lips. I think everybody's corner of the lips are dark, right? If you're somebody who's really fair, you can move ahead and apply a peach corrector as well. In fact, a peach corrector also works for me, especially, you know, if my dark circles are not really in a bad shape and my pigmentation I've been really taking care. I can make do with a peach corrector also. In fact, I feel the peach also kind of brightens up the face. After this, now I know there are a lot of people who prefer doing their foundation first, but I somehow always prefer doing my concealer first. Right, and now I'm just going to apply my concealer. I'm not doing any crazy amount, I'm just going to do my bare minimum. If you feel that you have a lot more problem on your face, remember you need to apply a little bit more of concealer. Women who tend to look very cakey also do the mistake where they try to hide their problems with foundation. Remember, foundation is a very thin medium and will not cover problem areas. A concealer has a lot more pigmentation in it. That's why even a little bit also kind of instantly hides your problems, right? I just apply that. Right, for blending, you can even, if you think that I don't use my fingers, now I use my fingers all the time. If you feel that fingers is something that you'd like to work with, just make sure you don't rub your skin too much. Gentle patting is what I recommend. And the next step after this is I'm going to use my foundation on top of it. So I still prefer using dewy foundations on Indian skin. I feel Indian skin is generally more dehydrated. So if you're using a matte foundation, another tip that I can give you is that you can add a drop of oil to it. Like perhaps you can just add one drop of Indulgeo Oil to it only. And here today I'm using one of my old favorite foundations, Lancome To Avoid Ultra. So I'm just going to pat this into my skin. Now, even while you look at my skin right now, does it by any chance look dehydrated? Not at all. Look at my brush, how effortlessly it just blends into my skin. If at this point you are finding it difficult to blend your foundation, that means you applied very little oil to your face, right? So that means the next time you need to apply more. So there you go, I'm done with my entire foundation concealing corrector routine. And does my skin look dry from any angles? Yes, I am the queen of dry skin, right? The other thing is also I'm going to set my skin with powder now. And I want you to understand that loose powders work relatively better on skin. So if you're somebody who's got very dry skin, loose powder is always an option. I'm not saying compacts are bad. If you have very dry skin, use a compact, but use it with a brush instead. And if you're oily skin, using a compact with a sponge is going to make a lot more sense because it's going to give you a lot more coverage. Now choose your compact also wisely. Like don't go ahead and pick up something like a heavy duty mattifying. Like I find the MAC Studio Fix a very matte compact. So pick up something which is a lot more sheer. Remember, again repeating myself, apply with a sponge for a lot more coverage and apply with a brush for lesser coverage. So because I'm applying loose powder on myself, I'm using the Laura Mercier powder. I am gonna, because the coverage is very sheer, I am applying it with a sponge. Why? Because I want to apply it generously. So right here, if you see the amount of powder on this, and I'm just going to first set my under eye. So if you see, I really pat it well. It's not that, I don't apply enough powder. In fact, if you will not apply powder on your skin, your foundation is going to shift, budge and move very soon, right? If you're somebody who's got a T-zone oily, extremely oily, you can also, like after applying your powder on the entire face, you can just apply a little bit extra on any areas that seem to be very dry or very oily, right? Now there you go. Even after I do my foundation, my powder, does my skin look dry? Not at all. So, and after I did my powder, I've just taken some highlighter and I've applied it on my cheekbones, on the bridge of my nose, on my cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin. And there you go, my skin glows even more. If you want your highlighter on your skin to pop out even more, use it with a damp brush. So you can do every possible thing to make your skin look dewy. But remember, if your foundation is patchy, nothing is going to look like this. So I hope all these tips and tricks help you nail your foundation the next time. If you're looking to buy the Indulgeo Rose Gold Oil, it's available for sale with us at our studio. I'm going to leave our numbers below. And if you wish to see a certain video, do leave a comment and do let me know how you like this one. Thank you.